The human body is an incredible machine, performing countless actions every day, many of which go completely unnoticed. Among these actions are involuntary processes like sneezing, hiccuping, and yawning, reactions that seem simple but serve important roles in keeping us functioning and alert. These seemingly minor reflexes not only happen without our control, but often leave us wondering about their purpose. Why do we sneeze when exposed to bright lights, or yawn just because we saw someone else do it? These common reflexes have fascinating biological roots, some dating back to our early ancestors. Each involuntary process is triggered by specific conditions, yet scientists are still unraveling their mysteries. Let's dive into the strange world of sneezes, hiccups, and yawns, exploring the why behind these quirks of the human body and uncovering some surprising facts along the way. The science behind sneezing. Sneezing is an involuntary reflex that serves as one of the body's primary defenses against irritants. The process begins when tiny particles, such as dust, pollen, or even cold air, irritate the mucous membranes in the nose. This irritation sends a message to the brain, specifically to a region called the medulla, which controls involuntary functions. The brain then signals a rapid sequence of muscle contractions, preparing the body for a powerful expulsion of air that can travel at speeds up to 100 miles per hour. This burst of air helps clear irritants from the nasal passages, preventing them from reaching the lungs. Interestingly, sneezing can also be triggered by bright light, a phenomenon known as a photic sneeze reflex. About 18 to 35% of the population experiences this response, where sun exposure to sunlight or a bright light source causes them to sneeze. Though the exact cause is unknown, scientists speculate that it may be due to cross signals in the brain, where the optic and trigeminal nerves interact, causing both the eyes and the nose to respond to light. Sneezing is also contagious, and seeing or hearing someone else sneeze can trigger the reflex in others. This response may have an evolutionary basis, as sneezing helps clear airborne pathogens and irritants, which would be beneficial to clear from communal spaces. By triggering sneezes in others, a group might protect itself from widespread contamination. This theory is supported by research that shows we're more likely to catch sneezes from people in our close social circles. Beyond being contagious, sneezes also vary by culture. Some cultures have taboos about sneezing in public, or even attribute sneezing to supernatural beliefs, such as sneezes being a sign that someone is talking about you. In many cultures, people say "bless you" when someone sneezes, a tradition that dates back to ancient times, when sneezing was thought to expel evil spirits or indicate illness. Sneezing is powerful and can be surprising, but it's also essential. Every sneeze helps protect our respiratory system, showing that even the smallest reflexes play a crucial role in our health. The mystery of hiccups. Hiccups are one of the most curious and often frustrating involuntary reflexes that humans experience. They begin with an involuntary spasm of the diaphragm, the main muscle involved in breathing. This spasm causes a sudden intake of air, which is abruptly stopped by the closing of the vocal cords, creating the distinctive hic sound. While harmless in most cases, hiccups can be annoying, and their sudden onset can leave people scrambling for a remedy. From holding one's breath to drinking water upside down, various cures for hiccups exist, though their effectiveness varies. Interestingly, hiccups are a reflex seen not just in humans, but across many mammals. Even unborn babies in the womb have been observed hiccuping, suggesting that this reflex has deep evolutionary roots. Scientists theorize that hiccups may serve a developmental function, especially for infants, by helping to exercise their respiratory muscles before birth. Another theory suggests that hiccups might have been useful for our evolutionary ancestors with gills, as the reflex could have helped control water flow, a function no longer needed but still retained in our biology. Hiccups are often triggered by specific factors, such as eating too quickly, consuming carbonated drinks, or experiencing sudden changes in temperature. Each of these triggers impacts the diaphragm, either through physical pressure on the stomach or by irritating the nerves that control the diaphragm's movement. Emotional factors like stress or excitement can also bring on a case of the hiccups, adding another layer of complexity to this peculiar reflex. Though usually brief, hiccups can, in rare cases, last for days, weeks, or even years, becoming a medical condition known as chronic hiccups. The longest recorded case lasted for 68 years, with Charles Osborne hiccuping an estimated 430 million times. Chronic hiccups can interfere with sleep, eating, and social activities, requiring medical intervention to control. In such cases, doctors may try muscle relaxants or even nerve-blocking treatments to ease the diaphragm spasms. Despite countless studies, the exact purpose of hiccups remains elusive. Unlike sneezing or coughing, hiccups don't seem to have a direct protective function, leaving scientists puzzled. But whether a leftover evolutionary reflex or a quirk of our respiratory system, hiccups continue to remind us of the many mysteries still hidden within the human body. The science of yawning. Yawning is one of the most contagious, yet least understood reflexes in humans. Often associated with tiredness or boredom, yawning is actually a complex physiological response that scientists believe plays a role in regulating brain temperature. When you yawn, you take in a deep breath, stretching your jaw and increasing blood flow in your face and neck. This action sends a surge of cooler air into the brain, which some scientists believe helps lower its temperature, keeping you alert and refreshed. Interestingly, yawning is not just limited to humans. Many animals, including mammals, birds, and even some reptiles, yawn. This shared behavior suggests that yawning has an ancient origin, evolving as a way to regulate brain function across species. Among humans, however, yawning has an added social dimension. Studies show that people are more likely to yawn after seeing someone else do it, highlighting the contagious nature of this behavior. Researchers suggest that contagious yawning might have evolved as a way to synchronize group behavior, promoting bonding and social cohesion among early humans. The exact triggers for yawning are varied. While tiredness and boredom are common reasons, yawning can also occur during times of high stress or anxiety, adding a layer of complexity to its function. This reaction could serve as a way for the body to manage both physical and mental states, essentially providing a quick reset for the brain. Athletes and musicians, for example, often yawn before big performances, possibly as a way to prepare mentally and physically for the challenge ahead. Another fascinating aspect of yawning is its timing. Research has shown that yawning is often more frequent during transitions, like waking up in the morning or getting ready for bed at night. This pattern suggests that yawning may help the body shift between states of alertness and rest. By cooling the brain, yawning might aid in transitioning to a more awake or relaxed state, depending on the time of day and the body's needs. Despite years of research, the full purpose of yawning remains mysterious, especially the reason why it's so contagious. Some scientists propose that contagious yawning is linked to empathy and social bonding, as people with higher levels of empathy are often more likely to catch a yawn, whether as a social signal, a brain-cooling mechanism, or a relic of our evolutionary past. Yawning continues to captivate scientists and laypeople alike. Blinking, protection, and lubrication for the eyes. Blinking is one of the quickest and most frequent actions the human body performs, often going unnoticed. This rapid movement, repeated tens of thousands of times a day, not only keeps the eyes lubricated, but also creates a barrier against dirt, dust, and particles in the air. Each time we blink, the eyelids spread a thin layer of tears across the surface of the eyes, preventing them from drying out and ensuring clear vision and protection. The frequency with which we blink varies depending on activity. When we're focused on an intense task, like reading or using electronic devices, the blinking rate can decrease, leading to dry, tired eyes. This phenomenon has led to the understanding that blinking is partly controlled by our level of concentration, as well as by the body's need for hydration and eye health. Blinking also has an automatic reflex function, triggered by the body's response to potential threats or irritants. For instance, if something gets too close to our eyes, the blink reflex is instantaneous, shielding the eyes from potential harm. This mechanism, although involuntary, plays a vital role in our daily lives, constantly working in the background to keep our vision clear and our eyes protected from harm. Interestingly, blinking is contagious as well. Have you ever noticed that when someone around you blinks, you feel the urge to blink too? This reflexive behavior is believed to be connected to social bonding, a form of unspoken communication, especially in close or intimate settings. It's a fascinating example of how even the most involuntary processes can carry deeper, unconscious connections between us and others. In conclusion, blinking is far more than a simple reflex. It is a crucial function that helps maintain the health and protection of one of our most important senses. While it may seem automatic and inconsequential, it's a testament to the intricate and involuntary systems at play within our bodies. Goosebumps, the reflex that sends shivers down your spine. Goosebumps are another fascinating involuntary response that occurs in our bodies. This phenomenon happens when the tiny muscles at the base of our hair follicles contract, causing the hairs to stand up. Known scientifically as piloerection, goosebumps are most commonly associated with feelings of fear, cold, or strong emotions. Although they may seem like a strange or minor response, there is a deeper evolutionary purpose behind this reflex. One of the primary reasons we experience goosebumps is linked to our body's instinctive response to cold. When we are cold, our body attempts to preserve heat by triggering piloerection, which causes the hair to stand up. This creates an insulating layer of air between the skin and the outside environment, which can help to keep the body warm. In animals, this response is particularly helpful, as the raised fur creates a thicker layer of warmth. While humans have less body hair than animals, this reflex is still present as part of our evolutionary heritage. Another reason for goosebumps is tied to our emotional responses. When we feel fear, excitement, or even awe, the body activates the fight or flight response. This triggers the release of adrenaline, which in turn causes the piloerector muscles to contract, resulting in goosebumps. This reaction is thought to have been useful in our evolutionary past, where making ourselves appear larger by raising our hair could help scare off potential predators. Even though we no longer need this reflex for protection, it still persists as an automatic response to intense emotions. Interestingly, goosebumps are often associated with strong emotional experiences, such as listening to moving music, witnessing an awe-inspiring scene, or feeling deeply connected to something. The emotional intensity of these experiences can trigger a physical response that connects our feelings to our body. This is why, for many people, goosebumps are often linked to moments of beauty, spirituality, or personal significance. Although goosebumps are commonly understood as a reaction to cold or fear, they can also serve as a reminder of our shared biology with the animal kingdom. This involuntary reflex, while seemingly small and inconsequential, is a reminder of how our bodies retain traces of our evolutionary past and how our emotions can manifest physically in surprising ways. In conclusion, goosebumps are more than just a reaction to cold or fear. They are a complex and deeply rooted part of our physiological and emotional responses, linking our bodies to both our evolutionary history and our emotional experiences. While their significance may have changed over time, they still serve as a fascinating and mysterious part of human nature. The fascinating world of involuntary reflexes. Involuntary reflexes, such as sneezing, yawning, hiccuping, blinking, and experiencing goosebumps, are all fascinating processes that highlight the complexity and adaptability of the human body. These reflexes are automatic responses designed to protect us, regulate our bodily functions, and even communicate our emotional states. While they may seem insignificant, each one serves an important purpose in our daily lives, often without us even noticing. These reflexes are deeply rooted in evolution, having once served vital survival functions that still influence our bodies today. For example, sneezing helps clear the airways, while yawning regulates brain temperature. Blinking protects our eyes, and goosebumps, though now triggered by emotions, were once a survival mechanism to make us appear larger in the face of danger. In this way, our body's responses are a reflection of both its history and its ongoing need to adapt. What's particularly fascinating is how these reflexes connect the mind and body. Emotional triggers, like fear or excitement, can provoke physical responses, such as goosebumps or rapid blinking, showing that our emotions have a powerful influence on our bodily functions. This connection speaks to the deep interplay between our mental and physical states, which is still not fully understood. In conclusion, while involuntary reflexes may seem trivial at times, they are essential to our well-being and survival. These automatic processes remind us of our body's complexity and its continuous evolution. By studying them, we gain valuable insights into both our biological functions and our emotional experiences, giving us a deeper appreciation for the remarkable systems that keep us alive and thriving.